Hello, everyone. I keep getting questions about the pre-tribulation rapture, and I want to put this to bed once and for all to really help you see, too. This is further evidence that the Apostle Paul is a false, self-appointed 13th apostle and a false prophet of the book of Revelation. So in Matthew 27, we see that when Yahusha died, he yielded up his ruach, his spirit, that the temple of the veil was rent in two from top to bottom in the earth. There was a massive earthquake, right? The graves were opened, and many bodies of the Kodeshayim, which are the faithful in him, arose. Okay, so they came out of the graves after his resurrection, and they went to the holy city and appeared to many. Now, other sources report that the number of people that arose were 12,000. Isn't that interesting? So this was the pre-tribulation rapture, because after Yahusha left, that's what began tribulation. And the false apostle or the false prophet came onto the scene to insert his own false doctrine, the doctrine of Satan, to create what we know as Christianity today. And many are following after the false Christ in the image of the beast, which is named Jesus Christ, which is identified in Revelation 13:18. When you do the calculation of the number 666, when you look at the name Jesus in the Greek, it calculates to 666. So the pre-tribulation rapture has already happened. And the deception of it still coming, of its future coming, has been propagated by this false prophet that is known as Apostle Paul, right? The reason why it is false is because when you look carefully at it through basic reading comprehension and critical thinking analysis, you will see that the wording reveals the truth. And one little word is what hangs Paul, okay? 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 17. Then we who are still alive, who are left, will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. So we will always be with the Lord. And you know who he means when he's talking Lord, because Lord is another name for Lucifer. So if he was talking about a future tense, that this prophecy was going to be fulfilled, he would have said they, okay? But he wanted people who were following him, who were worried that they had missed the pre-tribulation rapture, that they had missed all of that. That's why he said we, and we only say we if you are meaning yourself plus the present company around you, okay? So we who are still alive and who are left, he's talking about us. He's not talking about thousands of years down the road in our generation. He was talking about himself and those with him at that present time. Okay? Because if he was making a future prophecy, he would have used the words those or they, or when they who are still alive and who are left, and those who are left. Okay? That's what it would read if it was a true prophecy to come. But no, he knew the penalty of being a false prophet, according to Deuteronomy 13. He would be stoned to death if he was proven wrong. So that is why he covered his track in his backside by this false prophecy, to continue further the deception which has been propagated by false pastors and wolves in sheep's clothing for thousands of years. And that is why people can't see Paul for his true identity of being the false prophet spoken of in the book of Revelation. So again, this is it. Paul knew that he was going to be stoned to death if he was proven a false prophet. And that's why he was always bouncing from town to town to town, is because he was looking for followers to prop himself up. Plus, he was trying to avoid all of the true followers of the way that knew exactly what happened on the day when Yahusha rose, when the graves opened up and all of those bodies came out of the grave and were resurrected. Okay? That is not something that you would, and they didn't just come in one day, poof, and were gone. They were there for 40 days before Yahusha ascended, and they went with him. So that, my friends, was the rapture. He will be coming again for the second coming very, very soon. And there will be some who are going to be deceived by a false rapture, especially when the Antichrist comes on the scene and calls himself Jesus Christ. And they will fall down and worship him because they have been programmed and preconditioned to accept him by all of these false prophets and the false pulpits. Okay? So be wise, my friends. Get the warning out. Yes, rapture has already happened. But those of us who are here now in these end times, we've been chosen here for this reason. Those of us whose eyes are open, again, read Psalm 91 very carefully. It says we will see with our eyes all of these things happening, but we will be protected. We will be untouched. We will have his strength to get through whatever is coming still. Okay? But we have very few years left. So please be wise. Study it out. Take it to Yahuwah in prayer for confirmation and or correction. As always, Baruch Yu'al.